Welcome to Hero Villains. Who do you think will win when Red Tornado faces off against Vision? It's the Tech Cyclone versus the artificial intelligence. Red Tornado, an android powered by wind energy, can control air on a massive scale, creating devastating tornadoes. He can fly, manipulate air pressure, and unleash widespread attacks that trap opponents in chaotic maelstroms. Vision is one of the most sophisticated artificial intelligences, possessing the ability to alter his body's density. He can become intangible, phase through solid objects, or increase his hardness to near indestructible levels. What's more, Vision can fire powerful energy beams from the Mind Stone, delivering immense destructive force with astonishing accuracy. Before we dive into the analysis, please hit that subscribe button and remember to turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. Thank you all so much. Red Tornado is the result of Teomaro's scientific ambition and the soul of an ancient entity named Ulthun, an air elemental from the planet Ran in the Earth-1 universe. From the very beginning, Ulthun existed as two opposing forces, good and evil, constantly at war with each other. His confrontation with Adam Strange and the intervention of the Justice League led to his defeat, but it also marked a crucial turning point. After his defeat, Ulthun began to reflect. He realized that the light of good held superior power. However, darkness wouldn't simply vanish. To resolve this conflict, he separated himself into two distinct entities. One was Tornado Champion, representing the ideals of justice. The other was Tornado Tyrant, the embodiment of destruction. Unwilling to let evil persist, Tornado Champion chose to fight, even though his opponent was his own dark half. The battle was fierce, but Tornado Champion wasn't strong enough to win. In his despair, he lured his enemy to Earth, where the Justice Society of America intervened and defeated Tornado Tyrant. However, that victory didn't bring him completeness. Tornado Champion realized that merely existing as a copy, a shadow of someone else, wasn't the path he desired. Craving his own identity, he ventured to another world and coincidentally encountered Tomorrow again. There, a new body was being created, a robot named Red Tornado, designed to infiltrate and destroy heroes. But for Tornado Champion, this was an opportunity. He took possession of the machine, hoping to become a true hero. Yet, fate always has a way of playing tricks. In the moment of merging, an incident occurred, wiping away all his memories like wind vanishing into thin air. When he awoke, Red Tornado was no longer Ulthun, nor was he Tornado Champion. He became an entirely new entity, carrying the power of storms but with an empty soul, as if he had just been born for the first time. Amidst the swirling winds roaring within his metallic core, a nascent consciousness gradually formed. Red Tornado didn't know who he once was, but deep inside, a calling still resonated, urging him to choose the path of righteousness. Beneath his seemingly cold metallic shell, Red Tornado is actually a pure wind energy entity, where every swirling current of air coils like living storms. When Red Tornado acts, it's no longer an individual fighting, but an entire tempest rising. From each arm, he can unleash swirling gusts of wind at speeds exceeding 350 miles per hour, powerful enough to crush steel structures and sweep away everything in an instant. These winds aren't just for offense, but also possess the ability to control the surrounding space. Any incoming object can be deflected from its trajectory as if blocked by an invisible hand mid-air. Red Tornado's flight capability is also a spectacular display of this power. By directing swirling air currents beneath his body, he can hurtle through the air at terrifying speeds or hover motionlessly like a frozen gust of wind. When needing to defend, he creates layers of swirling air around his body, forming an invisible shield that can block attacks and dangerous debris. Red Tornado can move at such extremely high speeds that the human eye cannot keep up, making him seem to vanish from reality. But his most terrifying power remains the ability to summon colossal tornadoes. When he unleashes his full energy, the sky appears torn apart, winds howl violently, sweeping everything into an inescapable vortex. Through years of upgrades and reconstruction, Red Tornado's body has far surpassed the limits of a mere machine. His metallic shell is crafted from advanced materials similar to entities like Amazo, providing near indestructible durability. His computational brain processes information at astonishing speeds, as if countless supercomputers were operating simultaneously in an instant, allowing him to analyze the battlefield and react almost immediately. Red Tornado's senses are also limitless. He can amplify his hearing to detect the slightest vibrations in the air, or adjust his vision to clearly see even the fastest movements. Even if his body is destroyed, his essence of existence doesn't vanish. Tornado's soul can regenerate in a new body, like when never confined to a fixed form. His physical strength is sufficient to confront superhuman entities, while his durability allows him to withstand bullets, extreme pressure, and devastating blows. After being upgraded by Cyborg with Prometheus nanite technology, Red Tornado's abilities advanced even further. Destroyed components can self-repair almost instantly, making him a warrior not easily defeated. Not only that, he can also change his form to assume a human appearance simply by will, as a way to integrate into the world he constantly strives to protect. Amidst fierce battles, the image of Red Tornado standing firm after countless injuries evokes a feeling that is both strange and powerful. He is not just a fighting machine, but a symbol of steadfastness. No matter how many times his body is torn apart, he always returns, silently, persistently, like the wind that never stops blowing. Within the ranks of the Justice League, Red Tornado is not just a warrior, but also a strategic mind. When needed, he can dedicate all his processing resources to analysis and calculation. However, his path has never been peaceful. Red Tornado has faced many dangerous foes, each posing a unique threat. There's Construct, an entity made of radio waves and electromagnetic energy, almost impossible to grasp. There's Robot Killer, who harbors a deep hatred for all artificial life forms. These confrontations are not just battles of strength, but also tests of his very existence. Even more notable are the distorted family connections. Red Inferno, his sister of similar mechanical nature, and Red Volcano, his brother with fire and earth manipulation abilities, both reflect different paths Red Tornado could have taken. Above all, the biggest shadow remains Tomorrow, his creator, who never abandoned his ambition for control. Amidst the whirlwind of these relationships, Red Tornado stands as a living paradox. He has no heart, yet he understands right from wrong. And each time he confronts these relatives created in his likeness, he fights not just to protect the world, but to affirm that destiny is not pre-written in code. In the silence of metal and the ceaseless roar of swirling winds, he continues to move forward, a testament that even a machine can choose to be a hero. I really hope you'll subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot, and you're the best. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about Vision. Vision wasn't born a hero. He's a synthezoid, a sophisticated artificial life form created by Ultron with the sole purpose of being a tool for revenge. However, from the very first moment he gained consciousness, Vision did the unexpected. He turned his back on his creator and chose to stand with the very humans he was meant to destroy. Joining the Avengers, Vision quickly became one of their most trusted members. His power knows no bounds. He can alter his body's density, at times becoming light enough to phase through matter, at others as hard as a diamond. Solar energy not only sustains him, but is also absorbed and unleashed by him as a formidable weapon. Yet, what makes Vision different isn't just his abilities, but his calm nature. Vision found something seemingly luxurious for an artificial entity: love. He bonded with Scarlet Witch, who wields chaotic and difficult to control powers. They married, built a family together, and even had 2 children through magic. It was a rare time when Vision was no longer a machine or a warrior, but simply a husband and father trying to understand happiness. However, his desire to control and protect the world led him to a dangerous decision. Vision once sought to take over all computer systems on Earth, believing it was the fastest way to establish peace. This decision caused global organizations to view him as a threat and forced them to neutralize him. When recreated, Vision lost his emotional connection to his own memories. He still remembered everything, but he no longer felt them. This change shattered everything. His marriage fractured, his family broke apart, and the distance between him and the world grew ever larger. Although Vision later gradually regained some of his humanity, the cracks could not be mended. The tragedy peaked when Scarlet Witch lost control. In her madness, she turned Vision into a tool and personally destroyed him, as a twisted way to preserve the love that once existed. He had loved, He had lost, and he had paid the price for his own choices. And in his final moments, amidst fragmented memories and fragile emotions, perhaps Vision understood that being human wasn't about physical composition, but about the capacity to love, even if the cost was everything. Vision isn't just a simple artificial entity. Within his synthetic shell is a sophisticated operating system, where structures similar to organs, blood, and tissue are recreated using a mysterious form of artificial organic matter, often linked to Hortoncells technology. Vision can absorb solar energy and store it as an internal power source, ready to be unleashed when needed. But the real turning point occurred when the Ultron Imperative Protocol was activated. This transformation opened up an entirely new level of existence. Vision can separate into millions of minuscule nanites, each carrying a portion of his consciousness and AI programming. This means he is no longer limited to a fixed form. From the smallest crevices to complex systems, Vision can infiltrate, move, and exist in places no one else can reach. Vision can penetrate machine systems, restructuring them from within as if he's merging with the very flow of data and energy. It's not just control, but a fusion of consciousness and technology. In the moment his body dissolves into countless particles, Vision doesn't disappear. He disperses, existing everywhere, like an intelligence no longer bound by form. And then, from the smallest unit, he can regenerate, recreating himself as if he had never been destroyed. Vision possesses a skill set that blurs the lines between real and illusion more than ever. He can create holographic images for camouflage, but that's just the surface of a much more complex ability. Vision's body is composed of special artificial cells, allowing him to link with an undefined dimension. When he releases mass, he becomes as light as air, his body transitioning to an intangible, transparent, and untouchable state. In that state, Vision glides through solid matter like a ghost, overcoming all barriers without leaving a trace. When he accumulates mass from that other dimension, his body becomes incredibly solid. At this point, Vision can achieve diamond-like hardness, making him nearly immune to all forms of damage. His physical strength also skyrockets with his density, from being able to lift a few tons to tens of tons, transforming him into a formidable force in combat. He can move through the air effortlessly, seemingly unaffected by gravity. When reaching high speeds, Vision can phase through solid objects without hindrance, making him extremely difficult to pursue, even for powerful allies like Wonder Man. However, this power also comes with certain limitations. When carrying others, Vision must maintain a stable state, significantly reducing his flight speed. On Vision's forehead is a silent yet incredibly formidable power source, the solar gem, which acts as his energy heart. Unlike any ordinary system, it absorbs sunlight from the surrounding environment and directly converts it into usable energy, with nearly perfect efficiency. Vision doesn't unleash energy indiscriminately, but controls it like an artist manipulating light. Vision constantly confronts dangerous threats like the Grim Reaper, the Lethal Legion, Zodiac, Ronan the Accuser, and Super Skrull. Each battle is a test not just of strength, but of will. Alongside Scarlet Witch, he has faced forces beyond comprehension like Kang the Conqueror and Dormammu, even helping her escape Magneto's influence. In the Chaos War event, Vision chose to sacrifice himself, triggering an explosion to destroy the Grim Reaper, a decision marked by courage and acceptance of loss. He once faced the Hulk in a harsh challenge, using his phasing ability to overcome overwhelming strength. At times, Vision even refused to regenerate himself. In the strange reality of the House of Ideas, he even summoned all the Avengers from Data to incinerate Nyx. Amidst countless disintegrations and resurrections, he consistently chose to stand on the side of light. And it is precisely in those moments when he seemed to lose everything that Vision proved he not only exists, but truly lives as a human being. In a battle between Vision and Red Tornado quickly takes the initiative by generating fierce tornadoes and extremely powerful air currents to push back his opponent. The combat zone is distorted by immense wind pressure, strong enough to sweep everything away. However, Vision reacts in an entirely different way. He reduces his body's density to an intangible state, allowing physical attacks to pass through him without effect. This enables Vision to easily close the distance without hindrance. Red Tornado shifts into his pure elemental state, transforming himself into a living current of air to evade and self-repair. This is when the battle becomes more unpredictable. But Vision doesn't just rely on conventional strength. He combines his solar energy beams with his phasing ability, continuously attacking from within and disrupting his opponent's android structure. These blows don't create direct impact, but rather dismantle Red Tornado's operating system from its core. The climax of the battle occurs when Vision fully exploits his greatest advantage. He no longer attacks externally, but directly phases his hand into Red Tornado's energy core or his controlling consciousness. By altering his density right inside his opponent's body, Vision creates an attack that completely bypasses durability, continuously disrupting Red Tornado's regeneration process. Even though Red Tornado has fast regeneration and immense wind power, he has almost no effective counter against this type of attack. Red Tornado has an advantage in widespread power and very high destructive potential. However, Vision possesses a skill set that directly counters him, especially his phasing ability and internal attacks. This very factor creates a decisive disparity. In a prolonged battle, Vision has more opportunities to control the tempo and exploit his opponent's weaknesses. The victory ultimately leans towards Vision with a high win rate, about 7 to 8 out of 10. It's not because he completely overwhelms in raw power, but because he possesses the right tools to neutralize his opponent in a way Red Tornado would find difficult to adapt to in time. Vision is stronger and wins. I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. Give us a follow if you enjoyed it. That's it for today's video. Thanks so much.